If you hear that sound, you know what time it is. Time for another episode of H&J Talk Sports. June 16th. I already messed up. June 14th. It's a Monday. We're back. I'm your host, Joe Riggy. Your other host, Harry Baxter. Harry, what's up today?
What's up? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. That was an over-the-top intro, by the way. I was going all in. A little bit too over the top. Let me bring it down some. We got a great show for you today. We're going over some of the worst Stanley Cup playoffs of all time. The worst because the Islanders and Lightning are now playing for a cup. And for some reason, we got the Montreal Canadiens and Islanders in the Final Four. We're also going over UFC 263. As always, we got questions from you guys at the end of the show. So if you submitted a question or you want to hear a question from viewers like you, stay tuned until the end because we got some great ones today. You guys gave us some good questions. We're also getting to know your host today. We're new. We haven't been here very long. So me and Harry are going to do 20 questions. And Harry doesn't know what these are. So it should be very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yes. As you can see.
As you can tell, I'm very excited.
But let's get into it. Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, somehow the Islanders and Montreal Canadiens are in the Final Four.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. I could have probably picked Tampa Bay. And I think I did pick Vegas to be in the finals. So that's not surprising. I don't know who's going to win. I think Vegas is the best team, but who knows with these playoffs? I don't know. I don't want the Islanders or Tampa Bay to win at any cost. Because if the Islanders win, their fans are going to be insufferable. They're like Browns fans. They beat us once, and now it's all you hear about is how they own the Steelers. Islanders will be the same way. They have the second worst fans in hockey other than the Flyers.
A lot of animosity there.
It's just, if they win, we're never going to hear the end of it. Tampa Bay, I don't want to win, and I'm very surprised the amount of Penguin fans I've seen on social media that want Tampa Bay to win. Guys, the Penguins are the only team in the modern era to go back-to-back. Since the lockout. We're the only team since like Detroit in 98. We're one of the only teams of all time to do it. You don't want Tampa Bay to win? Come on. You don't want them to go back-to-back. Pittsburgh needs that. So that's my thought. Harry, who do you want to win or who do you think will win?
Well, Vegas probably be my first pick because of Fleury. And after that, Tampa Bay.
So let me interject real quick. I didn't know this. I've seen a lot of people on social media who really hate Vegas, and I'm not sure why. So let me know in the comments why everyone hates Vegas. Because to me, like, it's Fleury's there, so that's awesome. They've only been around for a few years. Their first season was amazing. I don't understand the hate for them. Because I've seen a lot of Penguins fans say anyone but Vegas can win. Like, what? They got Fleury, guys. Don't you want to see Fleury win another cup? Yeah. That would be awesome.
Vegas would be the best team.
Yeah, that's who I want to win. I hope Vegas. I think Vegas is still the best team in the playoffs. Hopefully they can pull it off, and we don't have to see Tampa Bay or the Islanders win. Habs, I don't care either way. It would be funny because of the rivalry with Toronto. It would be hilarious if they got a cup before Toronto did. So that's about it. I don't know. I mean, one thing, though, that's interesting, I don't know if you've heard about this, Harry. Tampa Bay is kind of doing a little loophole. Where, as you know, Kucherov, their best player, was out all season. Steven Stamkos, one of their other best players and captain, was out all season. And so because of the way the cap works, after a certain point in the season or when the playoffs, the cap starts counting. So they were able to go up to the cap, which is like 70-something million. Those guys came back. So Tampa Bay is now playing with like $100 million cap. And a lot of people are pointing at that saying, whoa, hey. You're like $30 million or $40 million over the cap. What's going on here?
Hey,
is that a factor?
Do what you got to do to win. Could be, definitely.
Yeah.
It's an advantage.
I mean, that's what, if Tampa Bay wins again, especially back-to-back, you're going to hear a lot of teams pointing that out. You're $100 million.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It does. So they got a cheat code, and I've heard a lot of people saying teams are going to take more advantage of that in the future now that they've seen it work. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I don't know. Let me know why you hate Vegas. I want Vegas to win, and Pens fans, trust me, you don't want Tampa Bay to win. The only back-to-back Stanley Cup champion since the lockout, and the first one since I think like '98 Detroit Red Wings.
I'm okay with them winning.
To do it before that was the '92 Penguins. So you don't want Tampa Bay to win, guys. My thoughts. Anything else, Harry? You feel me? Sound good?
That works for us.
You sure you don't want to draw this out because you know what's next?
It's okay. Let's just gotta rip off the
Band-Aid.
band.
Your host, 20 questions with H&J.
I was very excited about this part.
I am. We don't got a lot to talk about, but this will be fun. First sexual, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, guys, we haven't been around for too long. We're glad everyone's watching so far and to subscribe. So we want to get to know you guys, and we want to introduce ourselves a little bit. So we're going to get to know our host with 20 questions. I'm going to give it to Harry first, and then I'll answer after he does.
So we're both answering each question?
Yes.
Okay, that
so
sounds
it's not
fair.
Unfair and one-sided.
I mean, you made the questions, but okay. Anyways, let's keep going.
First one's easy. What's your name?
Harry.
I'm Joe. Nice to meet you guys. One down.
Dumbass question for the first.
I did that for you to give you an easy one. You see? I'm really going to screw you. Number 2, where are you from?
Fairmont, West Virginia.
We're both from Fairmont, guys. So that's why we're Mountaineer fans. I've had a few people ask me why we cover the Mountaineers. That's why. If you're from West Virginia, you're either a Pittsburgh fan or an Ohio fan. There are a few weird ones, but mostly they're Pittsburgh fans. So that's why, guys. We're both from Fairmont. Right next to Morgantown, if you don't know. Number 3, what sports did you play growing up?
I played everything except for hockey. I was
Go.
not a hockey fan. I mean, that's a lie. I went to games back when they were in the Mellon Arena.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Okay. Yeah, I went to some games.
Your little secret.
I think the first game I ever saw was them and the Los Angeles Kings. But I was pretty young, so I couldn't even tell you who was on the teams back then.
Might have been the Gretzky era.
It might have been the Yager.
Probably Yager.
Era, but yeah.
Gretzky on the Kings, Yager on the Penguins, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I played a little bit of everything. I never played football because I'm skinny, and that wouldn't have worked that well. But started with soccer, like every kid does. My favorite part was the orange slices at break. Played baseball for a long time. Then eventually got into hockey. Had to drop soccer because they were both in the fall. Played hockey, travel hockey, summer hockey. That's all I played. And baseball in the summer. So yeah. Cool stuff. All right, next one's interesting. Your first vivid Steelers memory. So not just a casual memory, like, I remember once on TV I saw him playing a Cowboy. No, like your first vivid memory that like really sticks in your head as a Steelers memory.
I think it was in the 90s when it was the Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl, and it was when Troy Aikman, he had some run. He was just hurdling Steelers players, and it was.
Bro, that was my answer too.
That's probably my first.
My first memory is a negative one because it's that 90. I think it was a 95 Super Bowl.
Yeah, something like
where
that.
Freaking Neil O'Donnell threw like 16 interceptions that were wide open and didn't even look to make sense. But yeah, so first Steelers memory is a negative one. Oh, we're the same. Look at that. First vivid Penguins memory.
First vivid Penguins memory.
Mm-hmm. These aren't all sports questions, by the way. They're mixed up, but
I would say probably back the first, not the first cup, the year before that when they played Detroit, because I had a bet with Joe on who would win. And actually, okay, first Penguins memory, not hockey, but yeah, that's my first vivid. I remember.
Did I win that bet? Probably not.
No, I won that bet because I bet on Detroit to win that series.
Give him shit for that one. My first vivid Penguins memory was, I can't remember what year it was, but it was Peter Nedved's goal in like triple overtime against Washington, or quadruple overtime in the playoffs, probably 96, 95, somewhere around then. It was like 1:00 in the morning. That was a freaking awesome game. So that's the first one I remember where I was. I was in my basement, had all my hockey cards out. Peter Nedved scored. He did the knee celebration, sliding on his knees that every kid did in hockey after that year. So, yes. Number 6, favorite WVU moment.
Favorite WVU moment?
Mm-hmm.
Probably when they beat Oklahoma in the BCS Bowl.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. After that season also had my worst WVU moment.
What was that?
I don't know if that's a later. When they lost to Pitt.
When they lost. Yeah. My favorite WVU moment is kind of a cheating because it's not a moment. It's a period in time. It was basically the Pat White era. Me and Harry hit that. That was kind of our freshman year of college, sophomore year. Morgantown, for those of you who don't know, was kind of lit. It was the #1 party school in the United States. So it was a Pat White era, which is arguably one of the best eras in WVU history. I mean, I think there's a team or two in the 70s that could make an argue for the best, but modern era, it's the Pat White era. So we were there in that era. We were in Morgantown, partying from Thursday to Sunday, burning couches. So that for me, my favorite WVU year, or 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, I wasn't alive in '88, so I think that was probably the best single year with Major Harrison when they lost to Notre Dame in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But that would probably be the best. But unfortunately, that was the year I was born.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember that one. Favorite sport outside of what we normally cover?
My favorite sport outside?
Outside of what we usually cover. So not outside of football, hockey, college football, college, I don't know.
Close between basketball or soccer.
Basketball or soccer?
Yeah. Maybe basketball.
What do you watch more of, basketball?
I watch both when I can.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Premier League and stuff like that. And I watch basketball. I like the Mavs.
This is actually a hard one for me. I don't know. Do you count the World Series of Poker as a sport?
You can count that. I like poker.
That's probably what I watch the most outside of hockey and football. Outside of the March Madness, I can't get into basketball, guys. I don't know why. Baseball puts me to sleep. I probably prefer watching golf over baseball, so I don't know.
Yeah, my least favorite is baseball as well.
Yeah. I like going to games. I think going to games are actually a lot of fun, but watching it on TV
makes it fun. But
yeah. All right. Some non-sports questions. Question 8. Favorite all-time TV show?
My favorite all-time TV show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I can't believe I can't remember the name of it right now. 2.5 Men.
2.5 Men, that's a good one. I'm going to go with Seinfeld.
I like Seinfeld.
The Sopranos is a very close runner-up, but Seinfeld. Favorite all-time movie?
Rocky 4.
Oh, 4. I guess that's all right. I would have went 1 or 2, but okay.
The Drago.
4 is good. It's a pretty good fourth. Out of all the movies that have 4, Rocky's probably the best one. Nah, that might be the second best Rocky. I go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off or The Godfather. Yeah, don't say anything. This one I was going to look up and I forgot to, so I might have no idea how to answer this. Best new movie you've seen that's come out in the past 3 years. I did 3 years because of COVID. There's been no movies really in the past 2 years.
When did Endgame come out?
I think before 3 years ago.
Avengers Endgame? Was that before 3 years?
I think it was. I think it was like 16 or 17.
No, hasn't been that long.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up right now. Oh no, 2019.
Okay, that's my movie. I'm about to say.
I'll go that one too. There's an easy one. Endgame.
This guy.
Yep. I can look it up. Number 11, favorite genre of music.
I don't know, man. I listen to everything nowadays. Probably art, hip hop.
Samesies. I thought you were going to say salsa music since you have fiestas all the time now.
I listen to everything.
Yep. We're rap fans. There you go. All-time favorite musician.
All-time favorite musician. Eminem.
Eminem. I guess
I'm a
that's
big Eminem fan. Definitely back in the day.
You know what that is, guys? You're a real one. Jay-Z. Hope for the win. Where am I at? Favorite place to visit.
Favorite place to visit? Hawaii.
Harry's a big Hawaii guy, as you know, when he ditched us a couple weeks ago.
Beach person. So.
I'm going to go Vegas, which has become my new favorite spot in the past few years. I love Vegas. I love the smell of the smoke.
This is a place of extreme highs and extreme lows for me. So.
For Harry bets too big, but you know, Harry doesn't know how to manage himself. But yeah, I know. I've lost the last few years, but I'll still go Vegas. We just got to go back and even up, right? That's the rule to Vegas, guys. As long as you're not done evening up, just go up. No, just kidding. If you need help, seek help. Favorite food.
Favorite food? Man, I'm pretty basic. Probably pizza or wings.
I'm gonna say I kind of want to say crab legs, but I want to say steak.
Steak.
I could eat a steak every day if it didn't kill me, honestly. Like if you said, Joe, steak doesn't kill you anymore and you can be healthy, I'd eat steak every day.
Taking my answer back.
Okay.
I'm going to say cake.
Cake?
I'm a cake fan.
He's a big cake fan. Chocolate or nothing. Favorite leisure activity?
Swimming. Swimming.
Swimming? Wading in the ocean? I'm going to go with killing shit on Call of Duty. If we're going outside, I guess hiking. I do like to hike in the mountains. Call of Duty. Harry would say Call of Duty, but he's not that good. Just kidding.
No, not really.
Who do you think is, in your opinion, the most underrated Pittsburgh athlete? Of all time, I'm going to say.
The most underrated athlete of all time. Man. Hines Ward.
Is he underrated? You think?
Oh, I have a pretty high memory of him.
Well, I guess mine answer, okay, you could say that. So Hines works. Because I was going to say Malkin, which a lot of people would say, is Malkin underrated? But I don't think Malkin gets the respect outside of Pittsburgh that he deserves.
Yeah, I loved Hines Ward. And a lot of his big plays were like off the stat sheet, the way he used to block people.
A lot of big blocks, open field
people
blocks.
Out.
Yep.
He was one of my favorite. After Palomalu, he was probably my second favorite.
I do miss watching Hines play football, that's for sure. But yeah, my most underrated is Malkin just because, Pittsburgh, even in Pittsburgh, every year when the Penguins lose in the playoffs, you hear Pittsburgh fans saying trade Malkin. And then he was left off the greatest NHL 100 players of all time list, which is bogus. So mine's Malkin. All-time favorite athlete. Doesn't have to be Pittsburgh. Any athlete of yours that's your all-time favorite.
Palomalu.
Palomalu
or Randy Moss are my two favorites. I'm
going to go Jaromir Jagr. Love Crosby. Love Mario. Mario's the best hockey player of all time, but I grew up in the Jagr era. He had the mullet. He had his jersey tucked in. He was like the coolest hockey player there was. All my hockey numbers were always 68 because of Jagr. So, Jaromir Jagr. A sports moment that still angers you.
I mentioned this earlier. West Virginia Pitt game.
Your mic's cutting out.
The West Virginia Pitt game.
The West Virginia Pitt game, that was a bad one. This is a hard one for me because there's so many. I kind of want to go Green Bay, Pittsburgh, but I think I'm going to go the Boston Penguins series in 2013, which I still think was one of the best Penguins rosters of all time. And somehow they got shut out in like 3 games and scored like 2 games in that whole series and got swept by Boston in the conference finals. So, actually earlier I was going to say that Jesse James catch and I forgot. Damn, that was a bad one too. They changed the rule after that, so that was a catch. We should have beat the Patriots. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. I forgot. Your favorite alcoholic drink?
Captain and Coke.
Captain and Coke. I want to say mojito, but in recent years I've been like straight whiskey guy. So, either of those. And we're all the way at question 20. And 20 should be an easy one. Okay. Question 20 of Get to Know Your Host. What is your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast. Well, it was about to end. I used to like...
it's H&J Talk Sports. The number 1 podcast for your favorite teams. Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Penguins, West Virginia, UFC, and whatever else we want to talk about. Right, Harry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's his favorite podcast. God damn. Gotta walk you through this sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Get to know your host. I hope you feel like you know us a little better. And if you haven't subscribed, now you feel like subscribing because you're like, damn. I have a lot of those memories too. So I'm going to subscribe to the best podcast in Pittsburgh sports. There you go. Moving on, though. That was fun. Go subscribe, by the way. We'll wait here for a second when you subscribe. Welcome back. All right, UFC 263 was pretty exciting, Harry. What'd you think of that?
It was a good card. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was pretty good. Every fight except for that.
Yeah, there was one fight that kind of lulled a little bit.
Yeah, that Maya fight put me to sleep.
But it was good.
So let's go through these. The first light heavyweight, which was actually very surprising. You picked Hill. I went against you just to go against you. And I honestly thought I was going to lose that one. But Paul Craig, man, he came out pretty hard there. And Jamal Hill's arm came out pretty soft.
Yeah, that was nasty. It
was brutal. We've seen a lot of brutal fights lately. We've had a lot of snapped legs. And
it's been a little gory. But,
that might have been the first limp arm I can remember, at least in a long time.
But I remember later on in the pay-per-view, they said that it was just a dislocation.
It was dislocated, so that's good.
It was nasty because they kept showing the replay.
It was very dislocated. I was very dislocated.
Yeah, no, he just got him on the ground, and the ground game was just on a completely different level.
But hey, shout out to Paul Craig, man. He killed it 1 round. That was surprising because
he jumped on that arm. It's he would just kind of trap that arm and just do what he wanted with it.
He pulled it pretty good. The next fight, Muhammad won. I think I want to win against you on that one for some reason. So that was one of the most boring fights I ever watched, though.
I was picking the upset. The whole fight was just Muhammad trying to keep himself off the ground and tagging him a couple times. It was pretty boring.
Yeah. But dude had one move. He did that one shot with the left leg that he tried to take him down the entire match.
Yeah. I thought if Maya could have got him on the ground, he could have beat him, but he couldn't get him on the ground.
You don't have that strength anymore.
He was desperate.
So next we got the Nate Diaz-Leon Edwards fight. And man, that was exciting. I feel like we saw old school Nate Diaz. Edwards was clearly the better fighter. But man, Diaz looked more like himself. He was putting up a fight. He was bloody. Nate Diaz likes to be bloody.
Yeah, he's got a ton of scar tissue. He always bleeds. It always makes it look worse than what it was. But he got tagged pretty good. Got a nice cut above the eye. Did.
Leon Edwards is clearly the better fighter.
Yeah.
But Nate Diaz's unique Diazness almost won him that fight.
he can take a hit and he waits for the later rounds till you get a little tired, and he caught him.
Yeah.
And he could have.
His
He had a
style
chance.
is so unorthodox too. He's kind of I feel like Stylebender and him are kind of similar in their fighting style, where it's kind of hard to read. It's not super real structure. Nate Diaz is more silly with it. It's more gamesmanship. He was doing the bend over thing like he's tired and making fun of him. And then he would just pull a hit out of nowhere and you really can't see it coming. So I felt like that caught Edwards a few times.
Yeah. Well,
Edwards is really structurally good.
He's always done that. He throws shots from weird angles, and shots you don't expect.
And he almost pulled it off, Harry.
Yeah, he had him that last minute and a half.
Yeah, he had him stunned, and he didn't go for the kill shot for some reason.
That was one of the most exciting endings I've seen in a while.
And I was yelling, get him. He just stood there. At first, he thought maybe that Edwards was kind of like baiting him, like pretending to be hurt, waiting for him to come in. I don't think that's what was going on. I think Edwards was really pretty stunned. So I don't know if that's why he was sitting back or what happened.
Yeah, I was wanting him to rush him too, but he missed it. He missed the chance.
He could have had him. Another minute in that round, Nate Diaz might be your winner. So he's not washed. Hopefully we see him again because that was an exciting fight.
Why we like to watch him.
Yeah. This next fight, for some reason, I picked Moreno in our predictions. I don't know why. I won. But I was really shocked by that fight. I cannot believe not only that Moreno won, but it was a freaking dominant fight.
Yeah, you could tell he was prepared.
Like the big knock on Figueroa. Say his name for me here.
Figueiredo.
There you go, Figueiredo. The big knock on Figueiredo from the last fight between them is that he wasn't prepared. He said he wasn't feeling well, and that's why he didn't look himself. He looked the exact same in this fight.
Yeah, he looked. I mean, it was worse.
It was worse. He didn't look like he belonged there, and it kept looking like he was waiting to get started, and he just never did anything.
Yes, styles make fights, and Moreno was really ready for everything.
He's really fast. He's like a little bulldog. I mean, he was just all over him.
He was prepared. He was hitting him. He tagged him. He knocked him down. He was all over him the whole fight. It was good.
And then the big fight of the night, Asanya and Vettori. I mean, it was 5 rounds of a clinic from Asanya. I don't know how you could look at that fight.
Yeah, it was. I was expecting it to be a little closer.
Yeah.
But it was pretty dominant. There was one small chance. I forget what round, maybe second or third round.
Second round, probably.
Or
no, what was are you talking about when he got him on the ground?
He almost had the guillotine.
Yeah. And that was I think that was the first or early second round.
Yeah. He had punched him on the ground, kind of flipped back, had him for a little bit, and almost was able to lock it in. But other than that,
that was the only moment of the fight I felt a little bit worried for Asanya. And when he escaped it, I knew the fight was over. I knew there was no way. If he got out of that, there was nothing that was going to happen for Vettori.
Yeah, it was.
And he I mean, it was classic Asanya. He just showed all his skills. He was unpredictable. He was fast. Vettori couldn't land a punch on him. He was toying with him. I mean, it was a clinic. What I really got out of that fight is something's wrong with Vettori because he thought he won that fight.
Yeah, he's a little delusional. He was fighting
very delusional.
Like it was a close fight.
It was not close, Vettori. If you're watching this, someone tag Vettori. It was a close spot. He thought he won the first one. It was a little closer. I still don't think it was close enough where you should think you won.
No,
it was closer.
There was one round where it was close, and then he got leg swept. And I think that was it.
Because he a couple times.
It was the round where he got the choke, and he had put him down, and he didn't really do a lot of damage on the ground.
Mm-mm.
He got behind and kind of threatened that, and then
I mean, if you're scoring points too, you'd say, okay, he got it down, he got a choke, he gets points for that. But I mean, Asanya even gets points for the escape and blocking the takedown, so he's still winning.
On the ground. He wasn't doing anything. He was literally just trying to hold him.
It was a very lopsided fight. Like it wasn't even close.
Left no doubt.
No doubt. No doubt. So that's the UFC 263, guys. Yeah, it was one of my favorite UFCs in a while. It didn't disappoint. I think our next pay-per-view is McGregor, right?
Yep, July.
And that should be very freaking exciting.
July 10th. That'll be a good one.
That'll be a really good one. Excited to see McGregor can bounce back and still have a career in MMA. So, yeah. Well, it's that part of the show, guys, where we get to questions from viewers like you. You guys had some really good questions this week. So let's get right into those. First question from 204_Noah19 on Instagram. Noah asks, what's the move for the Steelers after Big Ben retires? What's the move?
I don't think you have the QB of the future right now. Mm-mm. It depends. It depends on what the team is like. So if you're a competitive team still in the playoffs with an actual chance to do something in the playoffs, then maybe you get somebody in free agency that's good enough to maybe put you over the top. Then you don't need a big time playmaker. If you are not in the playoffs or just a team that's barely getting into the playoffs and getting destroyed every season, then you got to draft.
Yeah.
You got to wait for a bad year, wait for maybe injuries pile up one year, and hopefully you can get somebody good.
Yeah. I agree. This is a hard question to answer because it's very speculative. Even the end of season is a long ways off. So yeah, like you said, depends on the team. I don't think, even though Mason Rudolph's been on his tour this week telling people how he's going to be a starting quarterback, I don't see it. Dwayne Haskins, I still think he could be a guy that fill in for a year or 2 or 3 where they draft a quarterback or develop one. So yeah. Unless, like Harry said, if they feel they got a really good team and you want to go out in free agency and try to land somebody or trade, that can be an option too.
I would say with the way the team is right now, if I had to pick, I would say they probably are going to have to draft somebody.
Yeah.
Top 10, 15.
All right. Next question. From Hockey Makeup. Hockey Makeup asks on Instagram, by the way. Go follow her. What 5 players? This is a hard one. From the 09, 16, and 17 Cup wins, do you wish we still had from the Penguins, retired or still playing? So of all the players from Penguins Cups teams in recent years, what 5 players do you wish we still had? You want me to go?
Go first?
I'll go.
Go.
I would say the easy one is Fleury because he's still playing. Yeah, he's still good. If we had Fleury, playoffs might have been different this year. Second one, Phil Kessel. Yeah. Boy, imagine Kessel on that third line we have now. Who else? Is this like fantasy? Does Cap matter? If Cap doesn't matter, I'm going to say Jordan Staal. And then we'll go, who's a good one from 09? Let's go Max Talbot. Or no. Pascal Dupuis. There we go. So I'm going to go Fleury, Staal, Kessel, Pascal Dupuis.
That's 4.
Was that 4? Oh, Max Talbot. There we go. 5.
What was the center in the HGK line?
HBK?
Hagelin,
Bonino.
Mm-hmm. He was good. I liked him.
Minnesota.
Yeah, he was tough. Mm-hmm. That line was great.
That was a good line. And then it got broken up. It wasn't even a line in this back-to-back here. So 17. You want to pick 5 or are you just going with Bonino?
I was going to say HGK. And then after that,
you want the whole line back.
The whole line back.
There you go.
That was just such a great line. The third line would come in and
yep.
It was fun. Those were exciting times.
That was a special third line for God. I had to be the best third line in hockey. Maybe ever. That's a pretty stacked third line. Next question from C.Rocker33 on Instagram. Go follow her. She really likes the show and we appreciate her following us and in the comments. And this week she asks Kendrick Green versus BJ Finney to start at center this year. You don't know?
I don't know. That's you. That's a you question.
That's a me question? I think Kendrick Green.
What Joe said.
He seems like the guy that's been they've been working with most in practice. I mean, I've seen him in OTAs. He seems to be the guy they're giving most of the reps to, at least. I mean, it's not real training camp now. It's just OTAs. I don't even know if BJ Finney's there. But Kendrick Green's been getting all the reps. He reminds me a lot of Pouncey. He seems pretty good. I don't know much about Finney. Finney. I don't know. I think Kendrick Green. Next question. This is a Twitter question from Jack Littlejohn 18 on Twitter. Go follow him. This is kind of similar to the last question. He said, is the Steelers O-line going to be better this year?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? God damn it, Harry. You're the positive one.
I don't think so.
Of course, he didn't pick. I think it's going to be better. I think Villanueva was washed. Pouncey hasn't been himself in the past few years. He's been affected by a lot of injuries. I think getting some young guys in, I think the O-line's going to be better. I don't know if they're going to be great. I don't even know if they're going to be above average, but I think they're going to be better than last year.
See, you're losing 2 starters that have been there a while. Pouncey was good. He was a good, solid player.
Yeah.
Villanueva wasn't as good.
He wasn't as good. He couldn't stop anybody this year. Week after week, we watched defenders run through him like he was Swiss cheese.
There's the chemistry and all.
And I'm glad he's going to be in purple this year because I can't wait to run through him. Even Pouncey. Pouncey's had so many injuries over his career in the past few years. He hasn't been himself. I mean, what happens? Now, I don't want to say that changed the whole game, but what happens against the Browns if Pouncey doesn't throw that first snap into the end zone? That could have changed the game.
No.
It could have.
That was one mistake. Yeah, it gave him momentum.
It was, but you can't underplay momentum too much. Momentum's a huge factor. And that changed the complexion of the game.
You give them 7 and you battle back. Instead, you just get blown out in the beginning.
You could have. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't everything, but to me, I feel like if that first drive goes different, who knows? Who knows?
We'll see.
Those are questions for this week, guys. Keep answering because that's the best part of the show, especially now when it's June and we're not in football season and Penguins are done and there's really not a lot going on. Questions from you guys are good because it lets us know what you want to talk about. Sometimes we don't know what to talk about. What are we going to cover this week? And then you guys come with 2 O-line questions. Or, you want to know about what the Steelers do after Big Ben. That helps us figure out what to do and let us know even for next week what you guys are interested in talking about. So it gives us ideas.
Yep.
But next week, this was a great show, by the way. You should go subscribe if you want to. Not if you want to. You deserve to subscribe to this show. Go subscribe. Follow us on social media, H&J Talk Sports on Twitter and Instagram. Next week, we're talking the expansion draft. Who did the Penguins protect? Who perhaps do they lose to Seattle? And we're going to go over who's probably, as of right now, the top 3 draft picks in the NHL. And whatever else pops up this week, who knows? Who knows? Go subscribe. Hey, did you have a good show?
Fun show. Let's start the week off good. You know us a little better now. Go subscribe. I need to see us. We got to push it to 70 subscribers this week, guys. Look in the bottom corner. That's how many we have left to 100. 100 by football season. Let's do it. H&J Talk Sports. See you next week.